Speaking of truly disgusting people, you remember Tom Price? He's the former health secretary. Got fired for shedding private jets all around the country. And before that was involved in shady insider stock stuff. And
You mean lucky?
very lucky. He had some incredibly lucky stock tips about legislation that he was voting on. Well, it turns out that his wife is also a disgusting person and a very boring person. So I want to warn you, this is one of these pieces of sound that is both like you're going to be caught in between being upset at how morally repugnant it is and caught between dozing off because she's a strikingly bad public speaker. But this is Representative Betty Price talking in a meeting of the Georgia State Legislature. She's the wife of former Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price. And just think about that. This is the person that Tom Price went to bed next to every night.
Dr. Price.
Thank you. My thinking sometimes goes in strange directions, but before you proceed, if you wouldn't mind commenting on the surveillance of partners, tracking of contacts, that sort of thing. What are we legally able to do? And I don't want to say the quarantine word, but I guess I just said it. I mean, is there an ability since...
She's talking about people with HIV.
Since I would guess that public dollars are expended heavily in prophylaxis and treatment of this condition, so we have a public interest in curtailing the spread.
Right.
What would you advise, or are there any methods, legally that we could do that would curtail the spread?
So yeah, she was just talking about quarantining people with HIV.
What can we do legally? It's like we're going after some terror cell or something.
I think that's what she thinks. There you have it. And just to be clear, like the social conservatism in the kind of 90s like crazy Christian coalition sense is not at the forefront of the kind of white identity and the racism that fuels the trendy right now and the neo-fascism. But like that stuff is coming back too. I mean, these people stay in there. All this stuff is, obviously an assault on women's health and reproductive justice, obviously. But I wouldn't be surprised they put marriage equality back in play.
Well, and all those groups that are still there, they've been being told by the Republicans that, hey, once we get in, you're in. And of course, Priebus doesn't intend to satisfy all of those people, but some are probably going to get satisfied. Like, we see like the anti-trans stuff in the military.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the anti-trans stuff is the first, because there's still much more kind of widely accepted bigotry of trans
working
people.
Backwards.
Yeah, work it backwards. First you exploit and abuse the trans people, then you put the gay people back in play.
I mean, just listen to what Jerry Falwell has to say.
Right.
Since Trump's been elected, he's still behind him, still as happy as ever.
That's exactly right.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos